decided I wanted to invest in this, and my health started to change, actually very quickly. My energy, my sleep, my acid reflux, and I was eventually able to take 2 major medications, both depression-related medications, completely out of my regimen, thanks to this technology. So what I'm going to do tonight is we're going to talk about health, we're going to talk about water, we're mostly going to be talking about lifestyle. That's the most important thing. You're going to hear the expression, change your water, change your life. You're probably going to think it sounds really corny, and that's okay, because I did too. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to make any health claims. I'm not going to attempt to treat, diagnose, or cure any diseases. That's not what we're doing here. We're here to educate. The technology that I'm talking about tonight is in 1 in 4 Japanese homes today, and has been for nearly over 4 decades now. And in the west coast of our country, this is running rampant. There is an awareness. And Pittsburgh, we're a little bit behind, and I think we're ready. So we're going to talk about it tonight, and I'm going to give you some clues, and we're going to have a good time above anything else. Sound fair enough?
Yes.
Cool. All right, so we're going to try this concept on just for the next 40 minutes. Healthcare is our responsibility, 100% ours. Not the government, not our parents, not our kids. We have to take care of ourselves, first and foremost. So what is Kangen water? Well, Kangen is simply a Japanese word that means return to origin. Okay? This is how it started. In the 1950s, Japanese scientists discovered that we have a water crisis on our planet. Truth is, there is no new water. All of the water that we have today is the same water that was here thousands or millions of years, whatever you believe. It's the same water that was here in the beginning. It's just been recycled, it's been reused, it's been had stuff added to it, it's been filtered, this and that. And we have a water crisis, and they discovered this. So they decided that they wanted to start studying the blue zones. Now, if you're not familiar with the blue zones, there's a handful of remote places around the world where a naturally occurring healing water exists. It's high alkalinity, it's high anti-inflammation, it's high antioxidants, and it's very hydrating and very, very good for you. People around the world travel to the blue zones to heal from chronic illness. And people that live near these blue zones, like the Okinawans in Japan, live well into their hundreds from having access to this abundant healing water. Now, what the Japanese scientists discovered when they studied this water was simply it had an abundance of hydrogen, active hydrogen, or alive hydrogen. It's a principle very similar to a bolt of lightning striking a pond. When lightning strikes a pond, it electrifies the water and gives it an electrical charge. This water in these blue zones had an electrical charge. Water coming over a waterfall has an electrical charge. And simply, they came up with a method for recreating the properties of this healing water through Kangen water technology. We simply take the same principle of applying electricity to water and metal and separating molecules. It's very, very simple. You don't need to understand how the process works of electrolysis, but it's very simple. Inside the machine, we take an antibacterial medical grade filter, and it's going to take out the chlorine, the fluoride, the flocculants, all the heavy metals that you don't want in your water, but it's going to leave your minerals in place. And then we're going to electrify the water with some titanium and platinum plates. And it's going to separate the water into 2 streams. One alkaline, one acidic. Okay? So this is a medical device. It's always producing 2 different types of water at one time. One alkaline, one acidic. We're going to get into why that is in just a few minutes here. Again, one alkaline, one acidic water. That's very important. And all we're doing is separating the water at the molecular level. Again, not necessary to understand how all this works, but what is important is that this all began in Japanese hospitals in 1974. Once this technology was created, the Japanese scientists showed this to Japanese physicians who really grabbed a hold of it, and they started using this technology in these hospitals. In fact, for the first 20 years of our company, Enagic's existence, we were only marketing to Japanese hospitals. It was only in 1994 that we became a consumer use company when Mr. Oshiro took it over. Based on his negative experience with Sony, this man bought the technology, patented it, created a compensation plan for his employees, but more importantly, this guy's a visionary. This man found this technology, saw the benefit for people, for health, for families, and wanted it in every home in the world. So he created KANGEN. And our vision with our company is to truly spread health globally, but we do it with compassion, and we do it one family at a time. We do it just like this in rooms like these, educating people properly about health and about wellness. This guy's an absolute genius. He's a visionary, one of my heroes. I'm very, very proud to be one of his messengers. He's an extraordinary human being. The company KANGEN that produces this technology is a 42-year-old medical manufacturer, privately held out of Osaka, Japan. We have over 35 offices worldwide. We're actually doing business in 120 countries today. Not a whole lot of companies out there doing business in 120 countries around the globe. That means KANGEN is passing all of those countries' taxes, tariffs, business standards, so it's a really, really big deal. Rock solid company, 42 years old. We're a licensed medical manufacturer, so all of the technology equipment that we produce is medical grade. And so it's not water filtration, it's not water purification, it's medical grade water technology equipment. The ISO, the International Standards Organization, is who sets the framework for our medical community. In fact, this certification, 13485, must be present on every medical device on the planet. Every kidney dialysis machine, every heart defibrillator, every heart monitor, every IV device, all have to be stamped with ISO 13485. So technically the water that you're drinking on the tables here tonight is a medical grade water. We certified medical device. Really important here, it's patented technology. So whatever you find out there on the internet is not this. This is night and day different from everything else out there. It's patented electrolyzed water technology, medical water technology. And my favorite certification in restaurants, the NSF, National Sanitation Foundation, and ANSI have approved this technology. So what that means, in fact, is that you take this, one of our medical water devices, install it in a restaurant, like we have many restaurants in Seattle and Los Angeles with this technology. You can then take all of the chemical cleaning products, all of the sanitizers, all of the bleaches, anything that they use in the restaurant to clean and degrease and to disinfect, you can remove all of that stuff, throw it in the garbage. And the restaurant is still completely in compliance with the health department. Wow. Because of their ability, the ability of this technology to produce waters that can kill germs and eliminate germs and remove grease and oil. And it's going to do the same exact thing in your home, and we're going to talk more about that as well. It's really, really exciting, fun stuff. And what we're going to talk about here tonight, we're going to talk about all the products that KANGEN has to offer. We offer water technology for your kitchen, water technology for your shower, and we also offer a turmeric supplementation, and we call this the Family Health Plan. We're going to run through each of these products. On the left here, you have our KANGEN or the SD501, your countertop water devices, your Nespa, and the Ukon turmeric. Again, that's our Family Health Plan. Let's talk about the water machines first. It's a simple countertop unit. As I explained the process of how they work, it's always going to make two different types of water at once. Now, it's a medical device, but it's also technically an appliance. It's going to make 7 different pH levels of water. Why do I need 7 different pH levels of water? Well, there's a different use for each one. So it's a very simple device to work. You go to your countertop and you press a button and you lift up your lever, and out comes, with the press of one button, you can get a clean water, a very neutral 7.0 pH water for taking your medication, for making baby formula with. It's just a simple neutral drinking water. It's just purified. If your power goes out, you can still run water through the device and get pure filtered water. If we run into a water crisis, anybody know of Flint, Michigan? Mm-hmm. Yeah, clean water, no power, you can turn on your machine, you're still getting this. Will remove all of the all of the bacteria, all of the lead so you're covered from situations like that. So eMagic is actually developing quite the presence in Flint, Michigan right now for this very reason. But for taking medications and making baby formula to clean water is fantastic. Remember I said we're always splitting water. While we're making the 9.5 water that's on the table that you're drinking tonight, we're also making a slightly acidic water. We call it beauty water because it's actually the same pH as your skin. You can spray it on your face as a facial toner. In fact, if you're buying a facial toner at Macy's or Nordstrom and you're paying $30, $40, $50, $60 for a 2-ounce bottle of toner, you're paying way too much money because all that is a chemical to match the pH of your skin. And this water does the exact same thing. It's actually amazing for washing your hands and face. It's incredible for boiling pasta in. Your pastas and your oatmeal and anything you boil, it's going to absorb more flavor. It's going to boil faster. You're going to use this water instead of Windex to clean your glass. And you're also going to use it to clean your hardwood floors. We call it shine water also. Slightly acidic, same pH as your skin. There's so many different uses for it. It's actually one of my favorite types of water. I'm always spraying it on my face. I have some. I carry it around in these little spray bottles, and I just spray my face with it. I'll pass it around. Feel free to give yourself a couple spritzes if you want. Just let it air dry. You will feel, it feels like it's sucking the water into your skin. It's really cool. You just let it air dry. Love it. We're going to move on. So we talked about Japanese hospitals using this technology too. You press another button on the device, and you're going to make a 2.5 pH super acidic water. Very, very acidic. It's so acidic that it will actually kill 99.999% of all bacteria, staph, AIDS virus, E. coli, salmonella, you name it. It'll kill 99.999% of everything. Within 15 seconds, it's actually 2 times stronger than bleach, but yet non-toxic. So technically, if you had food poisoning, you could drink a glass of it, and it'll kill all that bacteria in your stomach. If you bring home some good sushi-grade tuna from down at the Strip District, and you want to make sure that it doesn't have any bacteria on it, you can spray a little 2.5 water on it. You're not going to spray bleach on your food, but you can spray water on it. So restaurants are using it to disinfect their poultry and their meats before cooking it. Japanese hospitals began using this to sterilize their operating and surgical equipment instead of chemicals. They're actually depending on water to sterilize their operating equipment. So that's a pretty good clue right there. And we also found many, many uses, topical uses for this: eczema, psoriasis, necrotizing fasciitis, and wound care. I have no idea why that picture is there, but I love it just because she's smiling, and I have no idea why she's smiling, but I just think it's hilarious. She's just like, yeah, I got some necrotizing fasciitis on my leg, and put some 2. Anyway, so the 2.5 water does amazing things on wound care, any type of bacteria on the skin. I know, I can't look at that anymore. But for these types of conditions, it's absolutely fantastic. Yes?
What about teenager?
Absolutely. In fact, when I get to the 11.5, that'll make a little bit more sense. But yes, 2.5 pH water for acne and any type of skin condition is going to really help clear that up. And the 2.5 water is safe on the skin. It doesn't burn. If you spray it directly into a wound, it's not going to burn like alcohol does. So it's very safe to use, but it's extremely effective. While you're making the 2.5 water, remember I said we're always making 2 different waters, you're also making an extremely alkaline 11.5 water, which I have some right here. I made it just a little bit ago. And this is actually 100 times stronger than what you're drinking on your tables there tonight. It has 100 times more hydrogen. It's 100 times more alkaline. You can see that it's water, and I can drink it. You're going to use this. Now remember, you're going to use a 2.5 to kill everything in your home. You're going to use it to scrub your toilets and kill all the bacteria there. You're going to clean your kitchen counters with it. And then you're gonna use the 11.5 to clean everything else. Anything that you're gonna degrease, anything you wanna remove oils, any carpet stains. And my favorite part, you're gonna use it to clean your produce. Here I have some Nature Sweet Cherub tomatoes, #1 selling brand of salad tomatoes in America. And we're gonna wash these. Now, what do we do when we come home from the grocery store and we have our produce and we're getting ready to make a salad?
We wash it.
We wash it, right? We wash it in what?
Toxins.
In our contaminated tap water, yes. Now, what I just said doesn't make a lot of sense. Right here I have some contaminated tap water. It's actually just regular tap water, but what I just said will make more sense in a minute. Now I have the same 11.5 pH water. And I'm going to take here, and I'm going to use this to clean our tomatoes with today. Now I'm going to give you a quick history lesson real quick. Prior to the 1950s, all produce in the United States was actually organic. All of our herbicides, insecticides, and pesticides were water-based. The problem was the rain was washing all of the poisons off of our fruits and vegetables, and it was going into the groundwater and running into our salmon and fish streams, and it was killing off all the fish. And the government says, oh, that's not good. So we gotta do something about it. We're gonna make all of those insecticides and pesticides oil-based so that they're unaffected by the rain, and that when it rains, they stay on the fruits and vegetables. So we save the fish, but we do what to the people, right? We kill them. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So in the meantime, while those soak, I'm going to show you just one of the 151 contaminants that are in our tap water. This here is some chlorine tester, and I'm just going to put some drops in this tap water here. And this could be pre-filtered depending on Heather's building, but I can see that it's not. That water is going to eventually turn darker and darker, corresponding to how much chlorine we have in our water here in Green Tree. You can see there's a test strip up there, and it's going to indicate how much chlorine's in that top water. So there's quite a bit. In fact, if it turns the color of this cap, that means it's actually a toxic level of chlorine. Okay, so that's just one of the things that's in our water. Now we're going to check on our tomatoes here. We're going to see how these are doing. First, we're going to check on our tap water tomatoes. I'm just going to give them a quick rinse. And we're going to see how well we clean them. And then here we have our KANGEN Water tomatoes. And I'm going to give them a quick rinse. And I'm going to pull that water off. This is the oil-based herbicides, insecticides, and pesticides that I just took off of those tomatoes in the time that they were sitting there, that you were sitting there watching them. In just a few seconds. This is what I call clue #1 to disease in our country. Clue #1. Now, one of my favorite things to do is I'm going to pass these tomatoes around. These are the KANGEN tomatoes. I want everyone to try a KANGEN tomato, even if you don't like tomatoes. Try a KANGEN tomato, and then you have to try a tap water tomato. Pop one in your mouth.
Poisonous.
And I am also going to pass this around for everyone to take a drink of, if you will. Now, stay with me. Here's our chlorine water. Now you see how much darker this has gotten in just a few minutes?
That's crazy, Steve.
Okay. So that's the chlorine water. That's this is the chlorine.
It's scary. That's scary.
Where's the water you took that in?
This is the water.
Up to this
That's
minute
the
tasted
tomato
good.
water.
I
This
don't
is
know what
the
time
poison tomato water.
No, which one's the tap water?
A big difference, but hard to tell with tomatoes.
Is it good?
But
Oh, I can tell.
I mean,
Yeah,
huge difference.
I can
Here's
tell.
the
Huge
tap
difference.
water.
Here.
It's almost like a whisk fresher.
Now, here's the chlorine water.
Oh, that's just.
Now, I'm just going to take a few of these cherub tomatoes, and I'm going to break them open a little bit. And I'm going to give them a bath in this chlorine water. And let them just soak in there for a minute. And stir that up. And you're gonna see, this might be a 4 tomato kind of night. That's a lot of chlorine. But you're gonna see that those tomatoes are going to eventually absorb all of that chlorine, which is exactly what happens every single time you shower. Every single time you shower or take a bath, your body is actually absorbing 8 to 10 glasses worth of the chemicals in your tap water. And one of those chemicals, the most harmful, is chlorine. In fact, chlorine alone is the #1 cause of colon cancer. And chlorine is also the #1 cause of asthma. Bathing in chlorine especially is a leading cause of asthma. It builds up in the gut, it kills all the healthy flora in your gut, all that good bacteria, and leads to disease. So chlorine, very, very, very bad for you. Which brings me to talk about our Nespa technology. It's not a shower filter, but it is going to remove the chlorine, the fluoride, the heavy metals, all the hard stuff in your water that causes your bathroom, your tub to turn pink, all of that stuff. And it's going to actually infuse the water with organically extracted minerals from the Fudamata hot springs in Hokkaido, Japan. So it is literally taking a hot spring shower or a bath every single day. You're not getting the chemicals. And it's going to do amazing things for your skin, your hair, and even promotes better sleep. I have a very close friend of mine whose eyelashes started growing back when she started showering in the Nespa. So we've seen some pretty freaky things happen, but 2 showers and an Nespa, and you will think twice about staying in a luxury hotel suite again, because it's that good. It's really that good. So amazing, remarkable technology. Like I said, these are the Hokkaido Fudamata hot springs in Japan. They actually extract the minerals directly from that hot spring for making the cartridges that infuse the minerals into the Nespa shower water. So it truly is taking a hot mineral bath. So we're a green company. We're all about saving the environment. We're all about saving money for people's homes. Chemical free, right? We're not using the Fantastic and the 409 and the Windex, and our homes no longer smell like that aisle of the grocery store where all the Pine Sol and all that stuff is. We don't have to breathe that stuff in, because we really do live in a toxic world, and we're trying to kind of get away from that and live healthier. So breathing that stuff in is just no good. And of course, the average family of 2 saves about $150 to $200 a month just by owning this technology. Truth is, you're already spending the money, whether it's bottled water, whether it's cleaning products, whether it's medication, whether it's ER visits. I mean, a night in the hospital is pretty expensive, isn't it? So you're already spending the money. And then the plastics, I don't even want to get into this. It's just an absolute nightmare, guys. There's a vortex in the Pacific Ocean that's bigger than Texas. There's another one forming in the South Pacific, and now there's one in the Atlantic, and it's all this stuff. All plastic water bottles. They're not, it doesn't matter if you recycle. Do you really think that the recycling center can handle what we're giving them?
Only 20%.
20%. It's nuts, guys. This, I'm sorry, this has to stop. It absolutely has to stop. Okay. Let's talk about our current health. How are we doing in America, right? No? No? Okay, well, 1 in 3 are diabetic. 1 in 2 have cancer, guys. Guys, I'm watching my dad in it right now. It sucks. It sucks. 1 in 2. 30, 40 years ago, it was 1 in 20,000. We have to do something. I mean, 650,000 people die every single year from care that they didn't need in a hospital or a hospital-acquired infection. We're doing everything backwards. Guys, in the year 2020, we're going to spend $4.1 trillion on healthcare in America. Trillion. 95% of that, unfortunately, is actually, we're spending it on sick care. You know, after someone gets diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, cancer, lupus, you name it, we're doing everything reactive after the fact. You get into the ER, where we are the best, don't get me wrong. Best ER and trauma centers in the world, bar none. We will keep you alive. We just don't have time to figure out what's wrong with you and actually make you well again. So we send you home with a pill. The pill's going to mask your symptoms. And then you're going to get side effects. And then we're going to give you another pill for the side effects. And then another pill for the side effects from that pill. And another pill from the side effects from that pill. It's called allopathic medicine. It's the art of branding, the art of actually selling. We're actually selling sickness or disease in this country. It's completely backwards. The Japanese, when you get sick in Japan, you stop paying your healthcare provider. You pay your doctor to get well in Japan. You pay your doctor here when you're sick, when you need a pill, when you need a procedure. It's absolutely nuts. And this, real quick, 2 minutes is going to explain everything for you.
The American healthcare system is badly broken.
The present system doesn't work, and it's going to take us down. We need a whole new kind of medicine.
We're in the grip of a very big industry, and it doesn't want to stop making money.
If I spend 5 minutes with you and then put in one of these stents, probably get paid $1,500. For me to spend 45 minutes with a patient to try to figure out what their true problem is, probably get paid $15. It's a completely irrational system.
We don't have a healthcare system in this country. We have a disease management system.
We're spending almost twice as much in America as any other country on earth, but our lifespan isn't even in the top 20.
30,000 medical recipients die each year from care they didn't need. That's the equivalent of a jumbo jet crashing every single week. If the aviation industry killed as many people, we'd be up in arms.
The administration pays you based on how many patients you see. All right, who's next? To try and buck the system, someone says, what can we do to get your productivity up? I'm not interested in getting my productivity up. I'm interested in helping patients.
Seeing the military just being a microcosm of the problems society's having.
Soldiers' use of prescription drugs has tripled in the past 5 years.
This medication goes on.
Only by accepting that the American healthcare system is badly broken will we be able to seek out the escape fires, the potential solutions. There aren't answers.
One company has figured out how to lower healthcare costs by more than 40%.
We provide incentives for people to engage in healthier behaviors.
The Army Surgeon General directed that we establish the Pain Management Task Force to take a look at alternatives to narcotics.
I was skeptical, so skeptical.
I've gotten a lot of inspiration, a different perspective. There's a different way of doing things that is possible.
If I think about what healthcare could be like, it would have a lot more care in it.
The healthcare system is unsustainable. We're really mortgaging the future. Not just the health of healthcare, but the health of the nation.
It's powerful, isn't it? So what? What's that have to do with health? What's that have to do with water? Well, our bodies just happen to be between 70 and 80% water. There's bones, there's ligament, there's connective tissue, and the rest is really just water. So they say you are what you eat. Well, no, the truth really is you are what you eat, or you are what you drink. Our blood is actually 90% water. So everything we drink is going to go to our blood. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, I got you.
So what we're talking about here is we're talking about the simplest thing you can possibly do to give your body a 70 to 80% better chance at true health. You're able to control the largest part or the largest element of your body by what you drink. Now, that's where a choice comes into play here. And we're going to show you what this technology is and how this is going to give you the best 70 to 80%. Okay? So not all water is created equal, as we know. I wouldn't want to drink from that. I certainly don't want to drink from that. So if all waters were the same, then why wouldn't we choose to drink from either one of those, right? Well, so who has a panic or anxiety attack when they see this in the grocery store? We've now occupied both sides of the aisle in the grocery store. There's no other product in the stores that takes up two sides of an entire aisle. but water. Okay, so there's bottled water, which is actually reverse osmosis. Most of it is reverse osmosis water, which we'll talk about. But we're going to show you why bottled water is bad. But let's start with the plastic bottles that they're sold to us in. BPA bottles. Well, it's already known to cause ovarian and how many other types of cancer. It's bad for the environment. It's not good for the water, and it's not good for our bodies, and it's not good for our bank accounts either. Because depending on which of these you drink, if you're drinking the right amounts, you're spending between $3,000 and $10,000 a year. And you're going to keep spending it year after year after year after year and continue to cause the problems that we just showed you with the Pacific vortexes and whatnot. There's reverse osmosis water, which again, like I said, most of our bottled waters are reverse osmosis. It's also when you get in the Polar Springs, the big Crystal Springs jugs at the with the water dispenser. That's reverse osmosis. It wastes a lot of water, but most importantly, it takes out all the stuff you don't want, but it also takes out all the stuff that you do want. This is completely pure. That means there's nothing in it. There's no minerals in it. So when you drink this, not only are you not getting minerals, but you're also flushing the minerals that are in your body out. So you're demineralizing the body with reverse osmosis water. This technology was designed to give clean water to third world countries. It was not designed for drinking. Again, you cannot buy reverse osmosis water in a bottle in Japan to drink. It's just simply not on the market. And then there's tap water, which we already talked about, so we're not going to get on that rabbit hole again. And then there's Kangen water, which you all came here to talk about. So I'm going to talk to you about the 3 awesome properties of the Kangen drinking water that make it different from everything else. It has a proper structure, which means it's going to hydrate the body 85% better. It's antioxidizing and anti-inflammatory. And it's alkalized, meaning it has a healthy pH. So we're going to talk about the very first property. Remember I said lightning striking a body of water separates the water molecules and activates the hydrogen? Again, that's all we're doing. Water molecules tend to like each other, so they clump together in groups of 18 to 20 in a cluster. What this does, this takes your clumped up tap water and just separates it into smaller clumps. How many basketballs can you throw through a basketball hoop? 1. How many golf balls can you throw through a basketball hoop? A whole bunch more. You could throw even more marbles through a basketball hoop. The basketball hoop representing the cells in our body, and then the golf balls representing the water molecules. So you make smaller water that can penetrate the cells better. In fact, in Japan, they call this little water, little negative water, actually. You'll see the negative part in just a minute. Very visual demonstration about hydration. This is a green tea bag. It's just Yamamoto pure green tea. And what this tea bag represents are the cells in my body. Okay? What I'm going to attempt to do is I'm going to attempt to hydrate the cells in my body with ordinary tap water. So, in order to make tea, what do we have to do with water? Heat it or let it soak in the sun, right? So we're going to take this tap water and we're going to try to make tea with room temperature tap water, which I'm sure not a whole lot of surprises that we're not getting a lot of tea. Here I have some Kangen water. Margie, would you like to tell me if this bottle is hot or cold?
Cool.
It is cool. So it's not, but it's not hot by any means. So this is not hot water. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make green tea instantly with cold water.
How does it do that?
Because the water got into the cells of the tea bag. Just the way that, let's try Fiji, because I used to drink this, and it's about $12 a gallon. How much is gas a gallon?
$0.07.
Is there a bottled water on the market that is cheaper than gas by the gallon? Anyway, $12 a gallon for this. And there's a few drops of tea in there from the residual Kangen water, but it's not nearly as dark as the Kangen tea. Now, right, I warmed up the tea bag, so I'm going to go back to the Kangen water this time, and I'm going to make a stronger cup of green tea. And then let's go to the Dasani, see if we're going to get any tea out of the Dasani. Dasani was not able to hydrate my cells. just gonna get stronger KANGEN water every single time. We're gonna take this just a step further. I wanna show you something really fun. Just how much better this can hydrate you than anything else. I'm gonna take just a couple drops of the tea out of this bag. I'm gonna put a few drops in each of these cups here of the pure tea. I'm gonna drink this. I'm gonna take one of these other waters. Let's do Aquafina because we haven't done this one. And which cup would you like me to pour this into? It doesn't matter. Okay, we'll go to this one. And it's gonna dilute that tea because there's only a few drops in there. And then I'm gonna take those few drops there, and the KANGEN water
Whoa.
is actually gonna make a whole cup of tea.
That's pretty cool.
That's because the cells in that tea recognize the water. Just the way that the cells in my body recognize this. So when I drink this, it's not going down my esophagus and into my stomach and through all these little tubes and all throughout my, no. When this goes into my body, it goes everywhere. In fact, very little of this water even reaches my stomach. If you drink a big glass of this really fast, and then you wait 10 seconds and you jump up and down, you're not gonna feel it jiggling around in your stomach because it's not in your stomach. Most people don't like to drink a lot of water because it fills you up, right? It suppresses your appetite. People tell you to drink a lot of water because it's gonna suppress your appetite, right? Athletes don't like to drink a lot of water before they perform, right? Because it fills them up. They don't want to be bloated. That's why the pro athletes, the NFL, the NHL, the MLB, the Olympic team, the men's World Cup soccer teams are all getting on board with this because they can pound this stuff on the bench and go right out onto the field and perform at their top level.
Really?
Doesn't make you hungry, does it?
Less hungry.
I have not
It's a
experienced
suppressant.
increased hunger due to drinking KANGEN water.
Some
So,
people bank on that appetite suppressant, right?
but what it really is simply 85% better hydration. You're getting 6 times more of this into your cells. So you're getting all of those toxins out. You're getting it into the cells, flushing the body out. You're hydrating yourself properly. So if this giant bottle costs me $5, and I'm only getting that much of it into my cells. So I'm dumping the rest of it literally into the toilet. It's nuts. What we don't know, we don't know. 85% better hydration. I want to show you with this water how it affects human blood. This is amazing.
This type of water affects human blood. The doctor is drawing blood from a patient's finger. Using a special microscope, we shall be able to see the condition of her body from this drop.
These are red blood cells, and they've lost their electrical charge, so they're all stuck together in a formation called a rouleau. Here's a huge symplast. Symplasts are associated with heart disease and arthritis and lung disease and many other conditions that could be coming in the future.
The doctor asks the patient to drink a small amount of structured water. After 12 minutes, the doctor again draws blood from the patient and studies it.
So you can see that the cells then become buoyant, they become slippery, and they have their electrical charge, so they repel each other. That allows them to carry oxygen, and it means that we're changing the pH of the blood back to an aerobic environment rather than an anaerobic environment. I think that's amazing that just drinking water could do that.
I think it's utterly amazing that they only took about 2 ounces worth of it, and it had that much of an effect on the blood. It's crazy, and that's 85% more absorption at the cellular level. This is a powerful antioxidant. The hydrogen creates one of the most powerful antioxidant known to man. What comes to mind when you think of oxidation? Rust. Oxidation is the rusting and the aging of anything, especially human tissue. Oxidation is a process that begins in our bodies the moment we're born, when we take our first breath of air. It is what causes us to age and what causes us to eventually die. We begin to oxidize. There's no way to stop it. You can slow it down through antioxidants, right? It's the only way to keep our bodies young and vibrant and healthy and free from disease. In fact, oxidation is the number one cause, is the cause for all major degenerative disease. It's just too much oxidation over too little time without any reduction. And this water is actually a very powerful antioxidant. Now, if you don't know what antioxidants are, they're simply free radical scavengers. So you have healthy cells that are complete, and then you have unhealthy cells. The unhealthy cells attack the healthy cells. The unhealthy cells are missing they're missing a negative electron. An antioxidant is simply an electron donor. It gives an extra electron to those unhealthy cells to make it complete and happy, so it doesn't have to go around and feed off of our healthy cells. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So we want to keep a lot of antioxidants in our body at all times. So we do that through eating berries and tomatoes and all kinds of good fruits and vegetables, and drinking our green tea, the cod liver oil, turmeric, which we're going to talk about, and you can actually drink an antioxidant water as well. Now I'm going to show you every one of these beverages up here is going to represent a larger category of beverages I'm going to introduce. First of all, the Sprite is going to represent all soda. Everything, including your Red Bulls, your Rock Stars. The darker the soda, the worse it is for you. The Gatorade is going to represent obviously your sports drinks, your Powerade, your vitamin water, your Propel Fitness water, any of those. Your Sobe tea, your Arizona green tea are all the same as Gatorade. The San Pellegrino is going to represent anything with bubbles, any mineral water that's sparkling, regular club soda, the Talking Rain, which is very popular now because you can get 10 bottles for $10. Dasani is going to represent all reverse osmosis water in a bottle. This is 51% of Coca-Cola sales. They're making a ton of money by selling you tap water that's been marked up 25,000%. Aquafina is PepsiCo's version of Dasani. It's the exact same thing. It's reverse osmosis water in a bottle. You don't know how long it's been sitting in this poisonous plastic bottle, leaching all these chemicals. Fiji water is actually very good at the source in Fiji. Problem is they take that good water and they put it in a BPA bottle and they ship it really far from the South Pacific in blazing hot temperatures in a metal shipping can on a freight ship in the South Pacific Ocean, where it's very, very hot for this water to leach in all these chemicals. Here's a new one. There's a new alkaline water on the shelves every single day. I haven't seen this one yet, but this is alkaline water plus electrolytes. This is the exact same thing as smart water. I can tell by reading the ingredients. Now there's my first clue. Why does my water have ingredients? Exactly. Because they do this, they filter all the stuff out, and then they say, oh no, we need to make it taste better because this stuff doesn't taste good at all. So they put electrolytes in it, but all they are is chemicals, potassium bicarbonate, calcium chloride, and magnesium chloride, designed to make you drink more, and also to help raise the pH of the water, to make it alkaline. So when you read on the internet about alkaline water being bad for you, this is what they're talking about. Alkaline, by definition, is chemically changed. Kangen water isn't chemically altered whatsoever. It's simply the hydrogen that results in the high pH of it. And then we talked about tap water and the wonderful benefits of the 151 ingredients in our tap water that help make it so delicious. And then we have Kangen water. Now, what I have here is a meter that is used at the water treatment plant. This meter is called an ORP meter. It measures oxidation reduction potential. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but if you say it backwards, it makes a lot more sense. With this, good thing for that cord, with this we are measuring the potential to reduce oxidation. It measures in millivolts. It's actually measuring electrical current in the water. So if this meter reads positive, then the substance it is measuring is actually adding to free radical damage, or it's oxidizing. In fact, at the water treatment plant, if you're oxidizing, it is very bad. It means you're causing free radical damage in the body, you're causing rusting in the body, you're aging the body. If this reads 0, then it's doing nothing. It's not oxidizing or antioxidizing. But if you can get this, now it's just like golf, if you can get this negative below 0, then that means it's actually an antioxidant. So our friends at the water treatment plant want this meter to read above 600 positive or higher before our tap water is released to us. Now, why would they want our tap water to be so oxidizing? Well, so that no organisms can live in it. I'm an organism. And my pets are organisms, which I bathe in this water that I feed to my pets. And I'm cooking my oatmeal and my pasta in something that kills everything. It doesn't make sense, right? Well, we're creatures of habit, and we don't know what we don't know. But our tap water is extremely oxidizing. Now, I can check all of these other beverages to see where we stand. For example, the Sprite. This meter is going to go down a little bit from the tap water. What are we reading here? 800? 790. Very, very oxidizing. Is there anyone in here that thinks that Sprite would be an antioxidant? I am very relieved to hear that. What about Gatorade? Or vitamin water? Vitamin water was actually recently sued because their bottles did say that they were antioxidant.
Oh.
And they could no longer say that. But this vitamin water, 750 off the charts. If you look at this chart up here, you can see where we're at. Very, very oxidizing. The good San Pellegrino, Margie, I know you like sparkling.
No, I like Fiji.
Oh, you like the still? Okay.
I don't do bubbles.
I was always a bubbles guy. I had a hard time giving this one up, but the San Pellegrino is also very aggressive on the tissues. All sparkling waters are carbon dioxide. Think about it. When you breathe out carbon dioxide. So why would you want to put it into your body? It doesn't make sense. Your body rejects it. The Dasani, reverse osmosis water in a bottle. Very, very, very oxidizing. I'm just going to try to fly through these here so we can get you guys out of here. The Aquafina, same thing. Very oxidizing. Over 600, off the charts. Remember, at 600, nothing lives. The Fiji water, my favorite. It's going to go down a little bit.
That's my favorite.
But remember, if I stuck this meter in the water as it comes off the spring in Fiji, out of that artesian spring, it'll probably read about 15 to 20 below 0. It'll have slightly negative. But as soon as it sits in that plastic bottle, this one's been in this bottle since, at least Fiji lets you know how long it's been in there.
Really?
This one's been in there since June 13th of last year. So, lucky for us. It's not quite a year old. And then we have the, we'll call it smart water because it's the same thing. Smart water. Is it smart or not? No. Over 400, oxidizing, very rusting, aging. And then you saw the tap water. And now we're going to go to the Kangen water. You'll watch this very closely here.
Whoa!
Where are we at?
-4, 500.
Negative 500. We went from off the charts positive to off the charts negative. What does that mean?
Good one.
Remember, back to the tap water, just to show you that there's no smoke and mirrors here. We're back positive here with the tap water. And then right back to the Kangen water, where we were instantly negative 400 plus. What this is the world's most powerful, bioavailable, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. Simply a result of the hydrogen. Green tea has an ORP of -100. Green tea, very good for you. Where do you put it?
In the tap water.
In your oxidizing water. And we wonder why our supplements and our vitamins aren't working. Because until you get your water right, nothing else can follow, nothing else can work properly. As soon as you get the water right, when you get the biggest element of your body right, everything else works. Everything else
makes
works.
sense.
It just makes sense. Thank you, Martin. Thank you. Antioxidants. Very, very simply put, Dr. Richard Cutler states in the number of antioxidants you maintain in your body is directly proportional to how long you will live. It's very simple. We want to stay young, we want to stay vibrant, we want to stay healthy. And the third property about this is a very healthy pH. There's starting to be a lot more awareness nowadays about alkaline versus acidity. Alkaline, what do you think about? You know, let's look, I like the analogy of the puppy. You have the newborn puppy that likes to jump up on you, and his fur is soft, and he's always full of energy and vibrant, and you don't mind if he licks your face because his breath isn't very bad. Actually, he has that puppy breath, you know, and he's clean and healthy. What about the old dog? Do you let the old dog lick your face? No, his breath stinks, man. No, he's mangy and tired, and he's always having to go to the vet and different medications. In his joints, he can't jump up on the bed like he used to, and he can't chase the ball anymore. It's acidity. It happens to all of us. Too much acidity over too much time. We want the body to stay in an alkaline state. Dr. Warburg, in the 1930s, won 2 Nobel Peace Prizes for proving that cancer is an anaerobic disease. Cancer doesn't live where there's high levels of oxygen. In fact, cancer prefers acidic tissue. In fact, cancer thrives best in acidic environments. Most of our organs, except for our stomach, are alkaline organs. Our skin is acidic and our stomachs are acidic. That's it. Every other organ in our body is alkaline or slightly alkaline. So we want to make sure we keep that. Our blood has its own way of maintaining its pH. Human blood is 7.365 for a healthy human. It has to stay very, very, very close in that range. So our bodies regulate that blood pH by buffering it with the calcium in our bodies. The calcium from our bones, from our skin, from our teeth, from our supplements, from our nutrition, from the food we eat. And we wonder why our hair's falling out, our bones are breaking, and we have all these dental problems because we're too acidic. We have an immune system that will fight, prevent, and cure cancer and any other disease you throw at it if you support it properly. And that's all we're trying to do here with this water is put the bodies back to a state of balance and support ourselves properly. So you all remember this from 7th grade chemistry. This is the pH chart. We're going to fly through this. Very simple. 7's right in the middle. 7's neutral. 1 is the most acidic, or 0 is the most acidic. 14 is the most alkaline. Again, our blood is just above that neutral level. And this is a mathematical scale, and with just a few drops here, we can see what we're drinking. So we're going to check the pH of all of these beverages. Just like that. Everything is acid forming in the body. We're just going to get rid of this one. Everything's acid forming in the body. So when I wake up in the morning and I take a breath of air, I'm oxidizing and I'm acidifying myself. KANGEN Water allows me to put myself back into a state of balance. I worked out today. I love working out, but it makes me acidic. Lactic and uric acid. I can balance that by drinking a glass of water. I drove home from the gym and sat in a little bit of traffic and got stressed out. I made myself a little bit more acidic. And I can balance myself. And I can sit here and tell this story on and on. And wait till I get to the San Pellegrino. Now, can you see Danielle? Okay. You ready? All right, watch. Oh, it can't do it. It tried, but it can't. It is just so acidic. These are so acidic that this can't touch it. So, I drink about 1 gallon to 1.5 gallons of this water a day. Which means, since I'm good, I'm alkaline, I've been drinking this water for almost 3 years now, I can afford to drink 1 soda, can't I? I can have just 1. It's not gonna, how much is just 1 Red Bull. Okay, one 8 ounce Red Bull. Okay, one sugar-free 8 ounce Red Bull. Well, I've taken this Sprite that I've diluted with Kangen water now, and I'm going to take this, and just a few drops of it are going to completely destroy. Just a few drops of this diluted soda are going to completely destroy everything up here. And that's what happens to your body. Diabetes is the #1 acidic disease in America. Shocking. This man, Dr. Shinya, was the pioneer of the colonoscopy. He invented the procedure that's in place today for removing cancerous polyps from the colon. He has a 100% success rate with all forms of cancer with 0 occurrences. Resistant forms of cancer, there are no side effects to taking turmeric, only side benefits. This is the world's most powerful plant-based antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. It is absolutely remarkable, and I can't say enough about that. Again, like I said, grown and harvested in Okinawa, Japan, has the highest concentration of curcumin of any turmeric supplement on the market. And again, the Ukon turmeric, the Anespa shower technology, and the K8 or SD501 water device. The Anespa can be financed for $25 a month. You can finance an SD501 for $50 a month or a K8 for $60 a month. We also have smaller units beginning at $25 a month with good credit. So we designed this so that this is something that everyone can have in their home. It's the way our company, our founder, Mr. Oshiro, designed our referral program. So in other words, you put this technology in your home, you make an investment in your health, and you refer 8 people to this technology, and you have completely recouped your investment for our referral program. So that's how we're selling in Malaysia and Indonesia, are 2 of our best-selling countries, where the income level averages $400 a month.
Wow.
So when I say that anyone can have this technology, really anyone can. I recommend eventually owning all 3 of our products because they really do work off of one another. But at the very least, start with one of our water machines. We can do custom installs. This is an SD501 Platinum, beautifully mounted countertop with a custom kitchen faucet. And this is our Kangen 8 installed under counter, and it has a custom faucet that we install for you, available in a couple different finishes. Just beautiful for high-end custom kitchens with great with the marble or granite countertops. They're actually very beautiful installed. This is what the Anespa looks like properly installed in the shower. It'll fill up your bathtub in 15 minutes. And like I said, it's literally bathing in a hot spring every single day. And I like this one just because it shows you a few of the more well-known celebrities that are on board with this. Now, celebrities and pro athletes, they don't do this because it's trendy. They don't do it because it has a high price tag. They do it because it works. It's that simple. You got Leo, and I just love this picture just because it doesn't matter how much of this water he drinks, he's going to have that look on his face no matter what. He's just always going to but Steven Tyler's so cool, and he has 5 of these things. Bill Gates has 18 SD501s in his home in Seattle, and Bill Gates he's not known for being an extravagant spender, actually. He's actually quite frugal with his money. But again, he has the best team of medical doctors in the world doing his research for him. So he's not on the internet buying scams, right? Especially 18 scams for his home. Bill Gates is a pretty smart guy. I give him credit, okay? I don't think he's getting scammed. So that's just kind of a clue. And then this is my 97-year-old grandpa. He loves the water. He's been on the water for 2 years now. We just celebrated his birthday. He's an absolute inspiration to me. We share it with our furry pet members, our furry family members as well. You put a bottle or a bowl of Kangen water out in your home and let your dog go to it, and you put a bottle or a dish of its regular water out where you normally give them its water, it'll go elsewhere in your home to drink that Kangen water. They just know. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. One more thing. How are we doing in America? Well, let's look at our overall health and longevity. Japan is year after year #1. Year after year. Did I mention that this technology is built in Japan? Hong Kong is #8. I just like to say Liechtenstein. They're #11. Canada's #13. France is #14. Finland is #40. Guam is 51. Taiwan is 52. Where is America? 53. Come on, guys. Canada is less than 3 hours away from us. And they're #13. So that's what it is. The new paradigm's preventative health care. We have to shift our focus from this reactive backwards model to preventative. And simply put, healthcare is our daily responsibility. Pittsburgh is ready for this technology. And
Yes.
let me just tell you, I've been involved with this company for about 2 years now. I get to spend my days, my work consists